Boom! Welcome to Flying Can Ranch in Athens, Texas. I've had a couple of days to do this, and we just had a lot of family things going on, people coming in town and stuff. So I got about a 45-minute window before I can get this done. So if you all remember, let me step aside. I reviewed a Barra. What do they call these? 1866 cowboy gun way back when I was at the other location. And if you also remember, these had a little receiver. You could pull that back and carefully drop, a little difficult to do, a .177 caliber pellet in, shut it, and then you grab it down here. You could also shoot BBs also, by the way, but we'll put about 4 pumps on it, 5 pumps on it, whatever. And then you had to pull a little hammer back because that was your safety. And then you would, let's see if I can find it here. And it would shoot. Had a real stiff trigger on it. Had 2 of them, both of them had real stiff triggers. So, moving right along. And yeah, it's got some fingerprints on it. What I want to talk about today is the Barra 1866 pellet rifle. Yes, in .22 caliber. And this particular one takes the individual shells, kind of like the Humerex Cowboy Legends. So we'll get to those in a minute. So we're gonna look at it this way. We're gonna bring it around, bring it around, bring it around. You can see up on the business end. We'll get it this way. You can kind of see it on the business end. We're gonna sling it down, see the loading port, and come around. Before I forget it, I want to mention that there is a safety on the back of this. So if you slide it forward during safe, you bring it back, you'll see the red, and you are ready to fire. So let's go over some specs of this. I got some stuff laying here in my way. Let's see if I can move it. This one, it takes 2 CO2s to operate this thing. Same thing with the 177. So this one in .22, they claim does about 450 feet per second, whereas the 177 version does 600 feet per second. Now, I didn't buy the conversion kit, but if you look at this, there's a little pin. Tells you wrong in the manual, but if I remember right, you drive that little pin out to the other side, and you can grab that and twist it and bring it off, and you can put a 177 caliber barrel in it. Now, if you buy this one in 177, you can also get it in the yellow belly, or you can get it in a black, as far as the receiver goes, what I found out. But you can buy the conversion kits for it. I want to show you the top where the injection port is. And so we'll go over it. So this is the .22 caliber. They say it does 450 feet per second. The overall length is 38.5 inches from end to end. Barrel length is going to be 18 inches, and the overall weight is going to be 6.5 pounds. So it's pretty hefty. Now it does come with this Weaver type rail on the top, and so you can put like a little red dot on or something. I probably won't do that. In fact, I can see removing this and storing it somewhere, because I was hitting pretty good with the sights, and we'll get to that. So in fact, we'll get to it right now. The front is a blade type thing, and the back on this buckhorn type sight, you can flip that up to a peep sight. And this is how I was actually hitting things with it, was using the peep sight. And I still had to aim a little low. So let's see, we do make the conversion. I mentioned all that. So we'll take it from the very back. Has a little 1866 right here. No rubber butt pad. Fairly decent faux wood stock. Same thing with the front. It does have the octagon barrel. And I found out something when I was getting things ready today, because I heard this would happen, and it has happened to me. When you're loading these shells, see how this one looks very vacant on the back? Because if these hit concrete, it will blow the little seal thing out of the back end of it, and then you're kind of messed up. So let's move this one a little bit out of the way. So what I want to show you is you can take a little shell, this one's empty, and you're just going to go nose first in the bottom of that shell, and you're going to tuck that in there real good. And we'll set this over the other ones. I'm going to have about 20 shells loaded up, 19 now, and then we're going to put that right in there like so. And we'll load up one more. We're going to put this one down in here. There you go. Now, if you want to load it, it's just like the real toy. You're going to put your shell in the side. You're going to feed it up in there. And there went one of them. You feed the next one in. And that's two of them. Oops. Feed the next one. It should hold 10 total. So, and you gotta make sure you push down on that real good. I think that's 3 of them or whatever. So we keep going. And that's pretty much how you're going to get your shells in. Now, I don't have a CO2 in this, so we can get away with this. I've got a crash blanket down here. When you crack your lever, like so, the shell is going to appear right up inside of here. And then when we close that, you should be good to go. Your hammer's back, and I've got it in fire mode. So, just using my crash pad here, hopefully it'll land on it. You can see this. I'm just going to, comes out, lands on the crash pad, and I got another one in. See if you want to see it again. Oops, that one hit concrete. Let's test it, make sure she didn't break. Oh, it did. Yeah, I'll have to find it. I think I found it. So I can fix this one, because it did hit the concrete. And what'll fall out is like this little rubber piece, but I can flip this over and pretty much just press that back into place, and it should be good. But you get the idea how to cycle the rounds. So the more difficult part is going to be to show you this on camera. I'm hoping it'll pop right open. Let me get something prepped up here for you very quickly. Went for a good little ride today by myself. She's been involved in something with the family. I was involved with it last night, some of it today, and here I am. So, here we'll go like that. So I got a little oil on here. When you flip this around, let me get my chair over here to make sure we don't drop it. You should be able to push a button right on the back here, and that opens this up. See how that popped open right there? It's a little stiff when you first get it, but it frees up. That's going to open, and inside here is your loading thing and your wrench. So what we're going to do is pull this wrench out. I'm going to put it into this plug, and I'm going to break that loose. When you put it away, you almost have to get it all the way back in there so it will be able to close. the back hatch. If you don't, then the back hatch won't close. So we got that pretty freed up. So we're going to keep going. It's freed, and you'll bring this piece out. We're going to lay that in a dust-free environment. And this is where you put your CO2s. So as I mentioned, you're going to go nose down with one and nose up with the other one, neck up with the other one. We'll put them down in there. Put that back in. We're going to get it going down in there. And takes a little getting on this to make it finally here. So now I can flip it this way. And in a minute I'm going to tell you. Don't put your thumb up against here when you twist this, because it will break your stock. It's a little hollow right there. Just grab it around where I've got it here, down where it's more solid. And I think that is pretty good. In a second I'm going to tell you whether that's good. We're going to put our wrench back in, like so. We'll close this. I'm going to one. Screw right out. But I didn't use the rope. Oh, it did. Okay, so it's not landing on my catch pads. But I gotta find that piece, but I will in a minute. You got a round in it. And I'll flip this around like so. And we'll put that back into here. So let's see what happens here. Okay. That should be good to go. And it goes like that. That's round. I got a blanket on. Like that. And that's how it handles. Now I'm going to load all these up. We're going to sit down. I'm going to show you. Hold on a second. I want to get this one out. And now we're dry. So, just like that. So I didn't put many in it. So, I don't think there's much more I can tell you about this. It looks really good. Now, some people say the caulking action is kind of crunchy or heavy. I mean, this is like the real deal, you know. And it feels like the real deal. Some complain it's a little heavy for what it is. Well, because it feels like the real deal. So what I'm going to do is load up these shells, all of them, and I've got some cans taped out back there, and we're going to see what we can do with this. But not a lot more I can tell you about. I had some jams on it a little bit in the beginning. And I figured them out. And I had heard if these landed on concrete, it knocks the piece out, and it does. I've got a blanket thing down here on the ground. I just haven't landed on it each time. But as I mentioned, it will blow that piece out of the back. And I've got one laying here somewhere. They came out of this. And I know kind of what to look for, but I don't really see it yet, but I'll find it. Oh, there it is, right there. There's one of them. So I can kind of tuck that back in there like so. Hopefully it'll still work. At any rate, we'll get this thing loaded up. And then we'll get the camera rolling, and then I'll get this one posted, and then we'll do some shooting with it before the sun goes all the way down, and people will haul me off again. But I think I've covered everything. You know, it's I like it. It's well built. I've had a lot of, I've only shot it one time, so bear with me when we do this. But it kind of reminds me of the Humerix Legends. You know, I didn't get really fickle with the Humerix Legend. I've already reviewed that one on my channel, so I just want to get this one. Now, these aren't exactly cheap. You know, they're going to run you around $250 or something for one of these, so it is what it is. But it's a good replica gun. I love replica guns. So let me get this rolled up and ready to go. I'll get these shells loaded up, fixed, whatever I got to do, and then we will go from there. That's how you do it at Fly Can Ranch. Catch you later.